Alright, in this video, I'm going to explain fields, folders, and the difference between a contact and an opportunity. So both contacts and opportunities have fields and folders. So let's open up this contact here, and relationship, first name, last name, these are all fields. Now you'll see this contact with this drop down arrow. If I click that, now I'm looking at the folders for contacts. So we've got additional info, general info, and the discarded fields. An important note is don't touch any of the discarded fields. You don't want to delete them, just leave them there. They should be out of mind, out of sight. If there is a field you don't like time zone, you have no need or use for it, you could move that to discarded fields. Just for some of the advanced automations to work, these fields have to be here, but they're never really meant to be manually entered or seen or interacted with. All right, now if we go to opportunities, you'll see it opens up this view. You can also have a list view. I do like this view here, and I call these cards. Now if you click on any of the white space in the card, it's going to bring up the opportunity and the opportunity fields and folders. So you can see like this description is a field, and these are folders here. So if I go into estimate info, we've got different fields pertaining to the estimate, same with the job. And again, you'll notice there's a discarded fields. If there is something you don't like, you can move it here, but please don't delete anything. And this is an especially important field that should always be blank, but never deleted. But here are the folders, and in the folders are the fields. Same thing with the contacts. But now let's talk about how you can customize the folders and the fields. So there's two ways to get there. One is when you're on the contact tab, you'll see this little gear icon here. You can get to customizing fields from there. The other way would be to go to settings here and then click on custom fields right here. Both will take you to this page. And we've got the tab all fields, which you can click here, and this will show you all the fields within your organization. You can add a field, you can add a folder here. What I think is a more helpful view, or at least I like, is the folders tab, where it separates everything by contacts and opportunities and then folders. So you can switch between contacts and opportunities here. And then these are the folders that you can click into, and then these are your fields. So if you wanted to create a new folder under, say, contact, you could come here, it would show up here. So we can press add folder, I'll just say example, press save. And now when I'm in my contacts, you'll see this field is here, and you can rearrange these in whichever order you like. Now, if we wanted to add a field in the folder, we can just click in here and press add field, and it'll put it in this folder. Now you'll see there's different types of fields we can add. Single line would be for like a name. Multi-line would be for like a description. Whenever you see this little thing in the corner of boxes, that means you can expand it, which is really nice, so that when you write in there or when you're reading in there, you can see it a lot easier, but it also collapses down to give you more room to see things. And these are pretty self-explanatory. You can mess around with them. So let's go ahead and just add a field here. I'll say date. Next, and this is where you would title it, so I would say start date, something like that. You can say if you want it under contact or opportunity. It defaulted to where we are in the system, which is contact in the group or folder example. Additional preferences I wouldn't mess with, but you could add a description if you're trying to remember, why you created this or something, and this will actually be the unique key that you can use, which I'll show you what that is a little bit later. But let's go ahead and press save. And now this will be in that folder. And if I ever want to come in here and get rid of it, I can just press delete. I can also move it if I wanted to move it to a different place. Like I want it to go under additional info rather than this example folder. And I can obviously edit it. Maybe I meant to put end date instead of start date. You could change that here. Now let's go back to our contacts. And you can see that first folder now is example, and it has the start date there, and it gives me a date picker. And I can collapse that so I don't see it. But you can see that's how easy it is to customize and edit. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this now. So I'll just click here, go to my folders. I'm going to open up this example. I'm going to delete this. And you'll notice this deleted fields. What you can do is open that up and look at the logs here, which could be helpful for like, wait, who deleted that? You could see the user that did it, when they did it, and what was actually deleted in chronological order, which could be helpful for troubleshooting some things, trying to reconstruct what happened in the past. I'm also going to go to my folder, and I'm going to delete this folder. All right, so let's open up this contact, and you'll notice this unique key here, and there's a little logo here. This is to copy it, but you'll see that we've got, contact dot, and then, usually what it's saying with an underscore instead of spaces, which is nice because it makes it kind of easy to remember. But the idea is you can like copy this and then use it somewhere like in an email. So let's take a look at an email snippet. I'm going to go to marketing. I'm going to go to templates or snippets. I'm going to say add a text, and then I can paste that in there. And what that'll do is it'll be dynamic to where it's going to automatically fill in whoever contact I am going to be sending this to's first name. So what's nice is you don't have to actually go back and forth copying and pasting. Almost always where you could type something out, there'll be either a logo or a drop down like this custom values here that's going to list all those. So I could go contact first name, and you can see it drops it in there. But these are all the contact fields. There's also these custom fields here, which just means they're not the generic like name, phone number, email, that sort of thing. But we've also got fields that pertain to the user, to an appointment calendar campaign. You can see there's a lot of things in here. All right, so now you should be able to customize where things are. So let's say that you never really use this campaign ID and you don't want it there. What you could do is come into here. Again, I like to go to folders. I'm going to open up my contact. I'm going to go to the campaign ID. Click here, and I wouldn't delete it. If it's in here, it will be helpful at some point, but if you're not using it currently or you don't want it in that view, I would just move it to the discarded fields so that it's out of your sight and you're not going to worry about it anymore. All right, so now let's look a little bit more at opportunities. So opportunities have pipelines, and if you up here at the top click on pipelines, you can see the different pipelines you have. They're in alphabetical order. And if you want to create a new pipeline, you would just click here and you could create a new one. So example, and then you can create different stages. And then if you want to move these stages around, you can use these little arrows. So you can see it was out of order, and just by doing that I put it in order, so you can move them around. If you want to delete it, you can delete it here. What this is for reporting. So when you use your dashboards and create pie chart reports, if you don't want this pipeline to be in those, or to even have the option to be in those, you can just do that to remove it. You can do the same with each individual stage, so you can turn these off and on. So I'll go ahead and press save, and now you can see this new pipeline is in there. And if I go back to opportunities and I click this drop down, that is now the new pipeline that I just created. Now, if you want to get rid of this, you can also, this example right here, delete it. And it's letting you know it's going to delete any of those opportunities that lived in that pipeline because you're deleting the whole pipeline. But it's nice to know that you can do things like maybe after your jobs are done, you have a marketing pipeline where you have your clients go through a series of other stages, like did we ask for a quality review? Did we send them a thank you letter? Did we send them our email marketing campaign? I'm just trying to give a theoretical example. Now you'll notice too, you can come in here and let's say that in the estimate, you wanted to add another stage. You could do that here, and you could also delete stages, and you can also rename them. I would suggest leaving it as is, but if you need to, you can. If you do change these and you notice an automation isn't working, send me an email, and that's probably why, and we'll troubleshoot it and get it figured out for you. But at the end of the day, everything is set up and customized for you, so you don't have to worry about that. It's just nice to know that if you needed to make a small tweak or adjustment, you have the availability and option to do so.